Video is my official invitation to race Speed. Speed, I think I can beat you.
From guests who were so pure-hearted they became internet legends, to those who stirred up drama and left fans fuming, this is the ultimate breakdown of the most loved versus most hated IShowSpeed guest of all time. Some came bearing gifts, others came with gold digger vibes, but they all made an impact, for better or worse. Let's get right into it. Uncle Jang Gay, the legendary chicken guy. It all started with a humble man in China. Known affectionately as Uncle, this guy didn't just show up for clout or screen time. He came with roasted duck, roasted pork, and later chicken, all from his hometown. Uncle's first appearance came on day 4 of Speed's stream in Chengdu. He walked up through the crowd and just like that, boom, handed Speed a full roasted duck. Speed loved it. You could see the joy all over his face. But that was only the beginning. Next day in Chongqing, Uncle tried to meet Speed again, this time with roasted pork. The crowd was massive and he didn't get a chance to get through. Did he give up? Nah, he and his friend actually jumped on a bike and followed Speed's car. Like, legit tracked him down and managed to deliver the food right as Speed was hopping out of the van. But now things were different. Speed seemed a little cautious. A guy showing up in different cities with bags of food? It threw him off for a second. The mission failed that day. Fast forward to Hong Kong, Uncle shows up again. Again. This time with cooked chicken. And if there's one thing everyone knows about Speed, it's that he loves chicken. This time, Uncle won. Speed gave him the time of day, even let him pack his stuff before they left, so he wouldn't get left behind in the crowd. That trust, that moment, the chat noticed it. Everyone watching could feel it. Uncle wasn't just some clout chaser, he was that guy. And here's where things hit differently. Uncle, whose real name is Jang Gay, was doing all of this not for fame, but to promote his little hometown and support local farmers. He's donated to earthquake relief, helped kids with autism, worked with wildfire rescue teams, and even harvest crops with elderly villagers. This man with barely any money was handing Speed food just to get eyes on his town. Even Speed's team started warming up. Henry, shout out to Henry, shouted, "The duck guy is here." And everyone knew Uncle was legend status. By the end, he wasn't just handing Speed food, he was dancing with him, sharing snacks with the whole crew, and getting invited into the van. The chemistry was undeniable. Chat was asking Speed to bring him everywhere. He even asked Speed for help finding a wife. And when Uncle accidentally dropped his phone, his one tool to stream and promote his cause, he didn't even mention it. He just smiled and stayed present. Pure heart, pure soul. Certified most loved guest, Alicia, Switzerland's gold digger energy. Now flip that energy all the way around. Here comes Alicia. Speed landed in Switzerland, excited to explore, but right off the bat, disrespect. She called him small, clowned his height, even got her friends involved in laughing at him. The vibe, completely off. And it only got worse. They went to a restaurant where the cheese was strong, to say the least. Speed joked about the smell, tried to lighten the mood, but Alicia just kept pushing the wrong buttons. She introduced Speed to her family, which seemed sweet at first, but then out of nowhere, she brings up one of Speed's past girlfriends. Not just casually either, like in a way that killed the entire mood. "Why you gotta kill the vibe like that?" Speed asked. Chat was right there with him. The tension was building. Then came the watch shop scene. Things hit a new level. Alicia pointed out a $20,000 watch and was basically like, "Yeah, buy this for me." Speed played along, but fans could see it. His face said everything. Just as he was about to actually go through with it, Alicia drops the bomb. "I have a boyfriend. I'm married already." And she said it with a tone. Like, disrespectful, cold, public. Even Speed was stunned. Fans were heated. All of this right before he was about to drop serious money on her. Gold digger vibes, gaslighting moments, and a total lack of respect. Alicia cemented herself as one of the most hated guests in Speed's entire journey. Daniel Label, the challenger with a heart of gold. Now here's a breath of fresh air, Daniel Label. When this guy challenged Speed to a race, it wasn't just hype. It was love, energy, and mutual respect from the very start. Daniel put $10,000 on the line. If Speed won, he gets the cash. If Daniel wins, nothing needed in return. Just good vibes, They trained, they joked, they hyped each other up. But what really stood out was the respect. Daniel congratulated Speed on hitting 41 million subs, even said he was rooting for him in life, no matter who won the race. And their chemistry? Off the charts. No ego, no drama. Just two people going head-to-head with the chat fully locked in. Daniel Label, humble, funny, honest, and full of energy. Easily a top-tier loved guest in the Speedverse. And what really made Daniel stand out was how genuine everything felt. There was no fake bravado, no trash talk to stir the pot, just two dudes vibing before a friendly race. Even in the pre-race interviews, Daniel kept it classy. He said Speed's ability to entertain for hours on end was unmatched, and that regardless of the outcome, he had deep respect for what Speed brings to the table. Fans instantly picked up on the authenticity. This wasn't a clout grab or a stunt. Daniel even said he'd come to wherever Speed was just to make the race happen, and stuck to it. When the cameras started rolling, there was a moment where they fist bumped and shared a laugh, and it felt like two longtime friends linking up. No tension, just pure hype. Even when the competition got intense, they didn't lose the fun. Daniel made jokes about his racing socks, Speed hyped up the crowd, and the chat was eating it up. People were dropping Daniel comments left and right, and once the race was over, Daniel didn't make excuses or get salty. He celebrated the moment. He stayed cheering for Speed, even complimented his form mid-run. That kind of sportsmanship? Rare. The dude was a class act from start to finish. It wasn't just a race, it was a moment of mutual admiration that reminded everyone what makes Speed streams special. Daniel brought out the best in the energy, the competition, and the community, which is why he's not just liked, he's beloved. Ashton Hall, the fitness fraud, and now, the other extreme. Ashton Hall, the self-proclaimed fitness influencer with the 4 a.m. routine. That guy. From the start, he was throwing shade, calling Speed slow, lightweight, unfit, basically trying to clown him into submission before the race even started. And what happened? Speed smoked him. Not once, not twice, 4 times. Each time, Ashton had excuses. First it was a pothole, then a bad start, then run it again, then flat surface, then barefoot, then on the moon, like, come on. Speed gave him 4 chances, and Ashton still couldn't hang. Even his own team started getting quiet after the 3rd L. But when it was clear the race wasn't going his way, Ashton and his team got pushy, literally. They started getting physical with Speed, trying to create chaos after losing. Total mess. And when it was all said and done, Kai Cenat popped out of nowhere with the line of the night: "You gotta stop giving these dudes second chances." Ashton Hall? Hype-built, ego-fueled, and exposed on stream. Definitely one of the most hated guests, and what really sealed Ashton's downfall wasn't just the losses, it was the attitude. The arrogance before the race turned into denial afterward. After getting smoked, he couldn't just take the L with grace. He kept running his mouth, claiming he slipped, the surface was uneven, the wind was off, anything but admitting he got beat fair and square. Chat was having a field day. Comments were flooding in. Bro raced 4 times and still talking. Excuse speedrun world record, and next excuse, Mercury in retrograde. What made it even worse was the way Ashton tried to gaslight the situation. He started saying it was a tie. Then he said Speed jumped the gun. His crew backed him up with 0 evidence, just vibes. Speed stayed cool for the most part, but you could tell he was done with the circus. And the more Ashton talked, the worse it got. Fans noticed how his tone changed. No more confident fitness guru. Now he was just scrambling. When he demanded yet another rematch, it wasn't about proving something anymore. It was desperation. And when the 4th race happened and Ashton still lost, but wait, after trying to jump the start, even his own supporters started to disappear. It was embarrassing. His whole brand, the disciplined, unshakable athlete, got completely dismantled in under 15 minutes. He went from viral fitness star to a meme. By the time Kai popped out and called it what it was, everyone already knew. Ashton wasn't just beaten, he was exposed. Celine, Belgium's sweetheart. Time to calm things down again with someone fans absolutely loved, Celine from Belgium. From the jump, Celine brought a good vibe, chill, kind, and fun. Speed met her at an axe-throwing spot, which perfectly matched his energy. She kept up with all his jokes, energy, and randomness. Then came the legendary statue tour. Yeah, that statue, the mannequin peas. They laughed, took pictures, and shared genuine moments. But the real highlight? Chocolate. Celine didn't wait for Speed to buy her something. Nope, she bought him chocolate. A sweet small gesture, but it went a long way with fans. It was pure, real, thoughtful, and when they got into that sports car ride and accidentally hit her own car, she didn't freak out. She just smiled and said, "It's okay." Calm, forgiving, solid vibes all around. Chat went wild with "Do Celine W guest," and she's so sweet. She even shared her dream of meeting Ronaldo and bonded with Speed over their love for him. It was a natural, kind-hearted connection, and fans adored her for it. Easily one of Speed's most loved guests. Courtney, the barber who crossed the line, and finally, someone who could have been neutral, but ended up creating one of the biggest messes in Speed's personal life. Courtney, the barber. At first, she was just doing her job, braiding Speed's hair. Then she started digging into his long-distance relationship with Amy, asking all the wrong questions, planting doubts, pushing him to think Amy was cheating just because she didn't answer a call at 3 a.m. It was messy. Speed spiraled right there on stream. Called Amy again, then again, then again. The whole chat could feel the tension rising. When Amy finally responded, her tone was real. She was sleeping. She sounded hurt, confused, and tired of the drama, and who can blame her? The internet stood up and applauded. Amy said everything fans were thinking. All in all, Courtney didn't just lose respect, she got blacklisted by an entire community for how she handled someone else's personal life. From heartwarming legends like Uncle and Celine to respectful rivals like Daniel Label, Speed has had some incredible guests who left a positive mark on the streams. And then there are the others, the clout chasers, disrespectful ones, and those who just didn't get the vibe. They might have made some noise, but they definitely didn't win hearts. Whether it's handing out chicken across cities or sparking chaos in a watch store, these guests shaped some of the wildest, funniest, and most emotional moments in IShowSpeed's journey. If this video gave you chills, laughs, or secondhand embarrassment, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives just like this. Drop your favorite guest in the comments, and don't forget to check out the channel for more viral moments, legendary comebacks, and Speed's ever-growing legend. See you in the next one.